Yo, what's up? What's up? It's your boy Vinnie-Dangerous. We are back after a week off. Yeah, I honestly don't have anything really going on to talk about. I was just like, yo, we just go get on here and we gonna chill. It's the holiday season. It's um, it's the holiday season. There's really not much going on, and with the holidays, I didn't have time to really like brainstorm a topic. Like I want to do my end of year list, um, which I'm gonna ask this week. So make sure you follow the page, the 1430 podcast, and join the broadcast channel because I plan on asking, you know, first, first and foremost, like, what do y'all want first? Do you want the good list or the bad list? Because I'm gonna just do music. I'm not really digging into like moments and things like that. Like unless y'all, want that and y'all really push for it, like I don't really think I'm gonna do that. Usually when I was doing the pre-records for the podcast, I was only doing like my favorite albums, disappointing albums, stuff like that. So I'm sticking with that. So it'll probably be like one list will be albums that I really loved. The other one will be albums that I thought were a little disappointing. And then I was gonna ask if it was, do y'all want like a tier list? Because I thought the tier list went really well when I talked about like the worst albums from the best rappers, like a couple months ago. Like people really liked that, and so I was like, we could do that for like my best albums and worst albums. That I could probably do more than 10, or if y'all just want me to talk about the albums. So that's kind of all I got going on. But I was like, yeah, there's a few weeks I plan on not streaming. Let's see, the third. Yeah, I'm not streaming Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve, which is like back to back Sundays. So, so yeah, I was like, I'm gonna do this stream today. We can do the best of or worst of list, next week. Then whichever the vice versa is the week after, and then that just be the end for 2024. Um, I see I got a couple people viewing. If you can hit the chat, tell me who you are and say what's up. Yeah, I mean, cause really, like, I'm trying to get y'all to like push the conversation today. If cause I don't really have much going on. I did drop my freestyle for the secret recipe. I might actually stream that. I might stream the full video because I only posted like a minute because I didn't want to get hit with a copyright claim since I'm using somebody else's beat, like the Lil Yachty J Cole joint. But like the little bit that people heard, like people really fuck with. So we could discuss that, and then I might even play like the full video on stream just so we got something to look at. Like earlier today, I was looking at this snippet that everybody's been sharing because apparently Cam Newton had a conversation with Charleston White. Uh, I don't really know much about Charleston White. Like I've so many of these niggas just pop up nowadays. Like it's kind of hard to keep track of everybody. But anytime that I've seen Charleston White and I've seen like clips of the things he said, like I find myself agreeing with a lot of it most of the time. I don't know everything that this man's about, so I'm not gonna like hang my hat on his opinion. But I will say, like majority of the time, I find myself really agreeing with what he got to say, and like the discussion with Cam Newton was was definitely like the most that I probably agreed with him on some shit. Matter of fact, let me pull that up because I saved it on my IG because I thought about playing it. I thought about playing it today. So let me pull this up real quick. Okay, hold on. Let me switch over. Screen sharing. All right. So it says Charleston White goes off on Cam Newton because of the hypocrisy of black people today. Does he have a point? Now I'm gonna be real. This caption alone and seeing his face and Cam Newton's face, I immediately was like, I'm not about to watch this. But I saved it because I had a feeling like this might be something I might be interested in, and I was right. So let's play this real quick. Okay, why is it not playing? why why is it the sound is bugging right now? You know what? Cause I'm using some. I've been a minute. I did some retooling of my computer and shit. So let me see if I can, if the audio's playing. Nah, that shit not playing. Yeah, I can hear me. I can't hear the video. Ah man. Man, yeah, I can hear me. I can't hear the video. Ah man. Let me see. Yeah, let's go back. All right. Well, I'm gonna work on this. And then we can get back to it. Yeah, I just had my birthday. Like, and shout out to my wife. She got me this really dope like monitor because she know I'll be struggling. I would struggle with some shit until it's just completely stops working. It don't matter if it's a pair of shoes, and like until it start falling apart and like my feet start poking out of them, I'll just keep them. Cause like I got some shoes that I work out in. Like not on some, like I not like going out and like going out and about and hanging out and shit, or even going, going somewhere where you're supposed to be looking nice and stuff. I wouldn't do that, but like I got some shoes that I work out in that because they just gym shoes. I don't really be wanting them. I don't really care about them looking nice, but they are definitely falling apart. And like I know my arch is like all fucked up because my foot, like after I run on the treadmill, like the bottom of my foot be hurting like a bitch. And you know what I'm saying? Like I know it's the shoes, but until they completely fall apart, I'm gonna just keep using them. But my wife sees me struggling with my monitor. Like I be trying to do a lot of stuff. Like now that I've been mixing this album, like I got a lot of like you get a lot of plug-in windows, and it's a lot of stuff to try to keep on one screen. Cause it's like a decent size, like a regular monitor. But like this monitor is so much bigger. Like the resolution is like 3440 by like 1900 something, and like it definitely like helps. Like I can see everything. Like this is so. But I think when I made some changes, like sometimes it'll automatically play the sound and stuff from the monitor. And even if I reboot the computer and bring it back up, it defaults to that instead of my interface. So that's why it's kind of weird. Like I don't feel like I can hear me. I couldn't hear my like the music on my intro or anything like that. So it was weird. We gonna rock. Like I'm that I could at least hear a little something. Let me check. Testing, testing, testing. Yeah, that's working. But yeah, man, I was like, man, why is this Charleston White video not working? But yeah, like and then it's crazy because I saw that, and then I immediately saw someone post on TikTok like with this guy, him in a Confederate flag, in a Confederate flag outfit. And he's like basically cooning it up with some white supremacists. And I was just like, all right, see, that's exactly why. Let me pull this up. And like I said, I don't know too much about this nigga. I don't know too much about this nigga, but like I saw that shit and I immediately was like, you know what? I ain't really got nothing else to say about this nigga. Okay, it's not. Okay, it's not just. It's not just the stream. Like this whole thing is tripping. My sound is just bugging altogether. Hold on.
Is that a Confederate hat he won?
Okay.
What's
up,
YouTube?
Okay.
Charleston White back at it again with his antics.
I think I might have.
In the form of rocking a Confederate flag around his neck and around his hat, and let him state it. He says it was passed down and it's from his ancestors, his bloodline, something of that nature. You be the judge of it, and you let me know how you feel about all of this.
Oh, fucking with me. Talking about that. Is that a Confederate hat he won? Yeah, nigga. Hell you talking about? This is heritage. My granddaddy's, Pappy's daddy's and his brother fought as a Confederate soldier. Then my mama's daddy, which is my granddaddy, Freddie White, fought in the Air Force. Fuck you talking about, nigga? Uncle Joe went. Yeah, nigga, I'm the. Yeah, fuck you talking about?
He's so crazy.
Yeah, y'all probably didn't hear that. I don't know what the fuck going on with this. To be real. Any other time, I have no problems with this shit. All right, let's see. I told you this stream about nothing. Stream about nothing. I don't have nothing going on. That was literally the only thing. All right, let me put Cam Newton. Yeah, they gonna make me dig for it, ain't they? Yeah, I don't got nothing to do with that. They ain't got shit to do with me.
Was smoking on my.
See, nah. See, I ain't gonna be able to find it. I tried to pull it up on IG. I got it on IG. All of a sudden, now I can't find it.
Charleston, like I think everything that you're saying has some truth to it. It's just the delivery. You standing. There's no denying that you're standing for and by your people.
Well, here's the thing. When you address
confessing evil, you can't worry about the delivery. When you're looking at the conditions of our community, you can't worry about the evil when you got kids that kill kids and say we smoking on Tuka. See, they wasn't worried about the delivery when these kids in Chicago were talking about smoking on Tuka. They wasn't worried about the delivery. I ain't got no manners for no slut. I'm gonna put my thumb in her butt. The delivery?
It was working. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with my phone. I don't know what the fuck going on. All right, we're gonna start over. Okay, we're gonna play it from the jump.
I like girls kissing girls where I'm from, and that's on the radio. Girls on girls, that's promoting lesbianism to my daughter as we driving to school. This song they playing with Drake. Y'all worried about the delivery? These niggas talking about killing each other. That nigga Thug said, nigga, I shot at your mama. You don't mention me no more. He really shot that nigga mama. And y'all worried about my delivery?
Charleston, like, I think
These niggas are confessing to murders on songs. And y'all worried about my delivery? The conditions of black sucking them, talking about booty holes. Y'all worried about my delivery? Come on, don't be hypocrites, black people. Y'all can't listen to this music if y'all so caught up in my delivery. Don't do me like that. And the way y'all snap and pop y'all pussy to this music, the way y'all kill and drill to this music, don't trip about my delivery. Hey, yo, Easy, why you wear your pants like that? I wear my pants like that because that's easy access, baby. Easy, why you talk like that? I talk like that to get my point across. Because when I wasn't talking like that, wearing a bow tie, y'all wasn't paying me no attention, and I was going to the Supreme Court changing laws and legislations in this country. I was working with over 50 U.S. congressional members, from Ted Cruz to Mark Rubio, Senator John Cornyn. I was on the front page of the American Bar Association Journal. I had done a study with News 21, Walter Cronkite School of Journalism. Y'all wasn't paying attention then. So, nigga, I gave y'all what y'all want. A ignorant motherfucking nigga that talk like them rappers. Now y'all listening. Now y'all paying attention, huh? I got y'all attention, checkmate. Now let me tell y'all what y'all need to hear. We fucked up as a race of people since y'all so caught up into my delivery. 5% of children now are catching HIV from ages 13 to 21. What y'all worried about? 85% of the new chlamydia, all the new cases are teenagers. What y'all so caught up about? Nigga, only 35% of most kids in inner cities can read on or above their grade level. What the fuck are y'all talking about and these kids can't read? Come on, my nigga. So if we gonna be real, let's be real. I'm not bashing the black woman in her BBLs. I'm not bashing the black woman because she wearing Asian Journal eyelashes. I'm not fucking with the sister because she got too many baby daddies. I'm addressing men. Just like we abandoned no justice, no peace for George Floyd. Are we still mad about George Floyd? Are we still mad about police shooting? Is that why we not kneeling no more? Are we still boycotting the NFL? What happened to all these things? What happened? Nigga, because I'm still stuck on Tamir Rice while y'all stuck on my delivery. I'm still mad why ain't now motherfucker tore up the country behind Tamir Rice. Baby Tamir Rice at that. Since we so in tune. Eyelashes. I'm not.
All right, that was it. Yeah, like, I saw that. I had a few thoughts, because the first thing I do is, like, I watch, like, a full clip or something, and then I go straight to the comment section. Because, for two reasons. One, especially in a situation where, like him, I don't know him. I don't know much about him. Anytime I see him, like he beefing with a rapper, him and T.I. got into it. Him and I think Boozy got into it. And anytime I see him and I see people talking about him, it seems like he's always on some stuff. But then I catch little things he'll say, and it's like he's calling out a lot of rappers on their hypocrisy. He's calling out a lot of black folks on this, that, and the third. Like, I don't know Charleston White. Like I said, I don't know what he's all about, so I'm not going to sit here and champion Buddy. But, I agree with everything he had to say in that clip. But, so I So I'll go into the comment section to try to get more perspective. Maybe there's more to this guy. There's more information I might need to know, because if there's something about him, especially with this clip going around, and like if he's, if there's something going on with him that I should be for or against, like somebody's gonna bring it up. And I'll do my own research. I'm not just gonna take these people's word for it, but at least they give me a starting point. But then I also go into the comment section, just to kind of see just the general reaction of what he's saying. And I see this a lot. Like whenever somebody who may be a little controversial say something with a lot of truth behind it, a lot of people will discredit them saying that they're the wrong messenger. And I think it's a way to dismiss the message more than anything. I don't really think you care, like, because when you say that's the wrong messenger, what does that mean? Like, does he have to look a certain way? Does he have to, does he have like a shoddy track record? But just because somebody like may be wrong, from time to time, doesn't mean that they can't be right at some point. There's a lot of people that follow every word that Kanye says and will completely overlook like some of the craziness that he's been on now, like lately, because they might find a couple things that they agree with. Like, I'm still stuck on slavery as a choice. Now, I'm not gonna like get on his case about everything, and then if he's right about something, I'll give him his props. But I'm not gonna sit here and act like this man is infallible. And I feel like a lot of people do that, and they do the complete opposite with somebody they don't like. And even when they say something that even them deep down agree with, they'll just completely dismiss it just because of whose mouth it came from. And I'll listen to anybody, like I think some people kind of conflate it a little bit, because they'll say, they just assume that if a clip is going viral and people are, agreeing with what this person has to say, like this automatically puts this person in this leadership position. There's some people that do that. There's some people that will like put them on this pedestal just because they said a few things right. And then of course, like maybe some other shit might come out about them and now everybody upset. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it anymore. Like I feel like I've done it before, especially when I was younger. But, I know that a broken clock could be right twice a day. It doesn't mean that I'm going to trust the time on that motherfucker every time that I look at it. You know what I'm saying? That's the same thing with somebody that might say something that I agree with one time. I'm not taking everything they say as gospel. So, and then it's another thing that kind of like, come up to me, because one of the things that he said, because, Cam Newton was talking about, his delivery. And like, he agrees with a lot of what he says. And a lot of people agree with what he says, just the way he says it. And I think I'm getting sick and tired of everybody trying to pacify this message. Because for one, like when you talk to most people, a lot of people know that this shit is fucked up. They recognize, like, I just watched the video. I'm not even going to like bring it up or anything, because I thought about talking about it. That was one of the things I was kind of juggling around in my head. Like, I might talk about this on stream, but I didn't want to give it too much energy because I didn't want to be one of those people that accidentally give this person shine, right? And so I'm not even going to say the name. I'm not even going to, show any of the videos or play any of the music and none of that. But like, I see this 9-year-old kid basically talking about murder and fucking and shit on this song. And like, there's adults like just cheering this shit on. And then there was even a rapper who is not a well-known rapper, but he is like signed, and he does have like label backing and stuff. He saw this little boy's song going viral about him talking about murder and killing and shit. And he hopped on the song with him and basically just reinforced everything. And then when people called him out, like, why are you doing this? This little kid is 9 years old. He shouldn't be talking about any of this stuff. Why are you co-signing this? Like, he basically tried to defend it like, you know, this is going to change his life. This is going to change his family's life. You know, and besides, we know kids in the hood is bad. Like, we already know they bad. At least he trying to do something with his life. And I feel like sometimes, that's why I was racking my brain on whether I was going to talk about this. Because I feel like I kind of harp on the same shit over and over again, right? And I don't want to sound like a broken record. Trust me, whenever I do find, if it's between talking about the same shit over and over again, or, you know, finding something completely different, maybe even something a little bit more positive to talk about, like something a little bit more heartwarming and, you know, something to put you in a good mood. I don't fucking know. Like, if I could talk about something like that, believe me, I'm picking the good shit, the positive shit every time. But this shit just keeps popping up. But it's because we know that these problems exist and everybody just kind of ignores it, right? Like, and then, you know, people are saying, well, they don't like Charleston White's delivery. But there's people that try to deliver it in this nice, well-crafted package and try to, like, hold your hand through it. There's plenty of pastors and community leaders and, like, just, you know, your teacher at your school, like your principal, you know, for these little kids and shit. Like, there's plenty of people that have tried to say it the nice way and you told them to fuck off. There's plenty of people that have tried to say this is not the way and you told them, fuck you, nigga, I'm getting money. So maybe I should be talking to you fucking crazy. Like, I tried to talk to you like an adult, or I tried to talk to you in a way that you can understand where it's not offensive. I'm trying to tiptoe and dance around your little feelings to make sure that you don't, like, get offended or whatever, to see it, hopefully the message will get through to you. And you still, like, told me to fuck off, nigga, I'm out here getting money or whatever, right? So maybe I should talk to you like you fucking crazy. Because to think that a 9-year-old kid can watch the behavior of the adults around them and see the music that is being promoted and see, like, all these people supposedly getting money and shit like that. They see all of that and then they emulate it, and then there's other people that's like, this shit is crazy, this shit is fucked up. And you know, when you see the video, like, it's not like a low budget video, right? I know, like, technology's come a long way and you can, like, pretty much film, like, cinematic shit on an iPhone, but you gotta have the skills to do that. But, like, that video is not no rinky-dink production. Like, this is some high quality video. So somebody put some money behind this little kid talking like this. So to sit, like, so there are people not only, like, influencing this little boy to talk and act this way, there's people actually putting money behind it. And you really want me to talk to those people on a civilized level when this is intentional. This is like people are intentionally putting their children in these positions. So when Cam's like, you know, what you say, like, you know, I agree with what you say, but, like, maybe people not fucking with your delivery. Like, I'm already over that. There's been a lot of that, like, it's for years. Like, people been trying to tiptoe around the shit to protect these little motherfuckers' feelings. Either you're scared that they're gonna do something to you, or, like, you know, you just worry that, or you genuinely think that you're gonna get through to these motherfuckers, and sometimes you do. But I'm just saying, if 5 or 6 people, 10 people have tried to come into this person's life and give them, like, you know, sit down with them, put their hand on their shoulder, and try to, like, just talk to them in, like, this peaceful manner, and they still told that motherfucker to fuck off, and they did this shit 10 times, why should I give a fuck and talk to you in that same way. Maybe I just tell you you're a fucking murderer. Like one of the things he was talking about in the video, because I feel like that's one of the things that gets kind of overlooked a lot, is that people don't think about like there's real victims involved in this shit. Like, to be honest, it hasn't really crossed your mind because a lot of the times it's because you rock with these motherfuckers, right? Like people didn't like 6ix9ine. So people had more smoke for 6ix9ine than they had for somebody like R. Kelly. Like R. Kelly made hit songs, y'all was love with him, and like anybody, that's because the thing is, of all the people, that's the one where I was like, I don't rock with you niggas. There is like the benefit, you could say the benefit of the doubt with somebody like Tory, because you wasn't there, I wasn't there. Like the only people that were there were not really talking, right? I believe he did it personally, and obviously he couldn't prove otherwise because he's locked up right now. And so I personally believe he did it, and the court believed he did it. But let's say if you just really on this, like, I don't believe it, I think Meg is lying or whatever, right? Fair, we were not there. Nobody, no, you wasn't there defending the person defending him, and I wasn't there as the person who believes he's guilty. Same thing with somebody like Trey Songz or even Bill Cosby or anybody like that. We like, if you really on that, they didn't do it, and like neither one of us there, and we ain't got no proof. All right, fine, you can live with that. The R. Kelly thing is just so nasty because not only do we know about everything that happened with Aaliyah, but like, you know, the tape that came out. So like, you've seen him in those positions twice in your face, not behind closed doors. Like, there's video evidence of this motherfucker and his nasty behavior out there on the internet. And so the fact that you still riding with him, but like you got smoke for somebody like 6ix9ine because he's a snitch. Also the fact that 6ix9ine has his own, you know, pedophilia allegations and shit like that. He actually got charges on that too. But people had more smoke for him being a snitch than a pedophile. So when he said something like, fuck King Von, and you know, I personally wouldn't say that just because I don't disrespect the dead, but it's really hard for me to have sympathy for somebody who is known for being like, known for being a killer. Like, it's really hard for me to have sympathy for, like, when they get got. Like, when they get shot the same way, they get got the same way that they got everybody else. Like, it's really hard for me to have sympathy. I just won't personally say fuck such and such because they did. It's because I don't believe in disrespecting the dead. That's just me personally, though. Like, if you said fuck them, I really wouldn't have no bones about it. I ain't got no problem with it. But I just personally wouldn't say that just because I don't disrespect the dead. Because, you know, what's done is done. Like, they can't take it back. They can't make up for it. Like, their time here is done. So I don't even go at people like that. That's why I got so pissed about the Oprah thing. Just because, like, when she was rocking with the folks with the Neverland documentary or whatever, like, that's why I ain't like that shit. Just because it... Just because it's like, yo, Michael's gone, man. First of all, he already went to court. He beat the case. We just kind of left it there. Do I believe it's 100% innocent? No, I don't. But they couldn't prove it. They couldn't prove it, and the man's dead. It's not like he getting a penny off of them little streams I give him if I play Thriller. So I'm not pressed about it. If you're dead, it's kind of like it's whatever. But yeah, like, so when somebody like Charleston White, like, anytime I've seen him go at people for some of these same things, calling out the hypocrisy, and like they just get pissed off and upset. It's kind of like the D1 situation that me and St. Pat talked about a couple streams ago. Like Joe Budden is going on his podcast and saying that D1, basically the only argument that he had was that D1 doesn't have enough skin in the game, basically. D1 doesn't have enough skin in the game to be talking on somebody like a Rick Ross or a Meek Mill. And I was just like, this is the problem. Y'all worried about the fucking messenger, but you not addressing the fact that, like, yeah, like, at this point, you probably been rich longer than you been broke. But you still talking like you a street nigga. And yeah, you can give out a couple bikes and a few turkeys on Thanksgiving, and you can give out, like, a little bit of money. You can give out a little bit of money to you because it's a little money to you, to the folks of your Miami neighborhood or Miami community, or, for Meek Mill in Philly or Jim Jones in Harlem. But, like, I don't see that. I see way more of what you guys display in your music than your charitable contributions. And that influence is felt all around the world. I don't want to get back into it because we had a whole full discussion about it. But it's kind of like that thing when you notice that the only thing that these motherfuckers have to argue back is, oh, well, you're just jealous. You just want clout because they got more money than you. You don't have enough. You're not qualified. They basically say, because you're not in this position, you're not in the position of these people who you were talking about. You don't have enough leverage. Or like, oh, well, they didn't invent the violence that they rap about. Or, their music is just a reflection of what they've been through and stuff like that. Or it's just art. Like, it's very disingenuous. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, my motto for now and forever will always be like, have the same energy for your favorites. If the guy you don't like or the woman you don't like, the celebrity you don't like is on some bullshit, and you real quick to condemn them, or a politician, or, just the random Karen that pops up on IG, which I'm really getting sick of that. Like, I'm sick of, it was funny a few years ago to film like white women acting the ass, throwing temper tantrums and shit. And, should they be called out? Yeah. But I don't know. It's getting to the point where it really hasn't stopped too much for anybody. Like, there's been a couple people that's lives have been ruined for like all of 5 seconds because the racist motherfuckers will come to their aid and make sure that they get taken care of. So they be online crying about losing their job, and then like they got a career, or they got somebody done donated some money to a GoFundMe or whatever within like a few weeks of that. So they good until it blows over, and then they can get another job. It's like temporary as hell. Like, the only thing they have is like the stamp of being a Karen. But now, just like most things, like when you oversaturate it doesn't even matter. Like, I don't remember half of these motherfuckers no more. So I think it is just a way now for clout and shit. Like, I don't even think it's really real anymore. So I'm tired of seeing all these pages like highlighting these women acting a fool. Like, these white people acting a fool just because it ain't really doing nothing. It's just taking up space, taking up airtime for shit that really need to be highlighted. Because I really haven't seen anybody's life be ruined yet. Nobody's going to jail. Nobody's gotten like a fine. They ain't even really gotten a slap on the wrist. And I don't know. Maybe what they're doing is technically not illegal, but they haven't lost their careers. They haven't really lost anything. They just got a little bit of humiliation, but all it takes is another one to pop up out the woodworks, and now the spotlight's on them. And you know how the news cycle runs. Like, a few days, and that's just old news. Nobody cares no more. And then she can go right back to terrorizing whoever the hell else she comes across next. So, I'm tired of seeing that shit. So I really want that to stop. But yeah, like it's so I'm gonna do my research on Charleston White. Like I don't really know too much about him. Like I said for the millionth time. So, but everything in that clip is kind of the things I've been saying all the time. Like I've seen this other interview with Dr. Umar. I'm not gonna play that because it's too long. But he's basically calling out like hip hop and how destructive it could be. And I've talked about it for a long time. Like, and this dude Curtis King that I follow on YouTube and his journey, like shout out to him. One of the things he said, right, like, and it really stuck out to me because you know a lot of people will push back on the idea of how music is like controlling or like influencing people to, you know, a life of crime. There'll be a few college educated motherfuckers that'll say, well, I like to listen to trap music. And it ain't never made me want to go out there and flip a brick. Or, you know, I listen to gangster rap. It ain't never made me want to like commit no crimes and shoot up nobody or nothing like that. So I think it's when you phrase it like that, when you phrase it as like, oh, well, this music is making these kids grow up to do this, right? I think that's where people get lost and they push back real hard. And I don't think it's about making you. It's not like there is a mental thing going on with that, like it's programming you in a certain way. But you know, when you explain it to them like that, there's a lot of pushback because you're talking about theories and things like that that really can't be proven. And you know these motherfuckers will say anything to justify what they listen to and what they enjoy without actually critically thinking about why I'm so drawn to this negative shit. So they'll do everything they can to defend it. But let's just say we're gonna bypass that, right? You know, but the way he phrased it, he was like, you know, when you got a girl over, like when you dating and you got a girl over, what's the first, you know, if you gonna put on some music, you're gonna put on something to set the mood, right? To try to like kind of set the tone, try to get her, you know, vibing with you a little bit more, and then y'all get into it. Like, it's kind of the same thing with like, you know, violent music, like hypersexual, misogynistic music and things like that. It's not necessarily controlling you and making you do these things, but it'll definitely set the tone. And like I said, like, you know, a couple streams ago with St. Pat, like it's not just making you do these things, but there are a lot of people that a lot of kids that grow up in these neighborhoods and they don't really have anybody else to look up to or turn to. They don't have examples that they can look at and be like, that's who I can be when I grow up. There's a lot of people that don't even think that they'll grow up, that they'll make it past a certain point in their lives to even think about being adults or reaching adulthood. And then, so all they know is poverty and they tired of being broke and they want to get out of here. And then they see you and they see you peddling this negative music and they see you getting awarded and getting money off of it. And then they go, okay, well, maybe since they look like me, they come from where I come from, and they got out of here doing this, I got to do that too. Or, you know, they didn't put the gun in your hand and make you shoot it. They ain't put the crack in your hand and make you sell it, but they gave you the blueprint on how to get out of your situation. That's the way I see it. And if record labels and, you know, the radio stations only playing this and the record labels are putting the money behind this type of music, you gotta wonder why, like, they'll put money behind this, but they won't put money behind somebody like Little Brother. Or like they won't really put the money behind a De La Soul or a Tribe Called Quest or Hieroglyphics. You know, like I watched I finally sat down and watched the Little Brother documentary. I hate myself that I didn't watch it sooner. Like it ain't been out that long. Like at the time of recording, the time of the stream, like it's only been out for maybe like a little over a week. But still, like I wish I would have watched it like as soon as it came out, because it was even, I knew it was gonna be good. It was even better than I thought it was gonna be. And a few things that stuck out was just kind of like, you know, when they go through the whole story about them being at Atlantic, and how, you know, it just felt like people were not really, the label was not as enthusiastic about them the way they were about other artists that were at the label. They kind of fit the mold fit the mold to a T, like what else was hot at the time. And this is the minstrel show. This is like a timeless classic. And the label had that, and then was like, you know, really not, like they, you know, Fonte said, like they cleared every sample. They let them make the album they wanted to do with very little pushback. But it was very clear that Little Brother was not a priority. And it's like, how do you have a legendary duo or trio like that and not think they would, like, not treat them like a priority? And it's because of what they're talking about, or better yet, what they're not talking about, is why they're not being positioned as like this label. They don't sound like, look like, or are talking about the same thing as these other rappers are talking about, which is like gangster trap, southern hip hop, or the snap shit, which, you know, that wasn't gonna really have longevity. I don't think anybody in that era really thought that shit was gonna last more than a year. But it's just, you know, why is it that a group like that, in that position with the material that they're making, be put on a back burner? But, you know, there's plenty of money being put behind acts that are so negative, that have, their messaging is so negative, it's so violent, so it's just violence, drugs, sex, hypersexuality, misogyny, you know, like shit like that is what's on the front of the magazine covers. What's, you know, the first thing you see when you go to the websites and the blogs, the things that are getting the most coverage, the most traction. Like, why is that what everybody's put money behind? Like, when you start asking questions like that, and people really have to start to critically analyze why they like certain shit, that's when you get the pushback. That's when you get these conversations. That's when they try to pick you apart, telling you they don't like your tone, they don't like your approach, or you dissing them, you dissing the youth. You don't understand if you're a little older, or like, you're just out of touch. You're not really with what's cool right now. You know, shit like that. Like, when you really got to sit down and critically think about this shit, that's, I think that part of their brain, like, is, you know, they really have to start reflecting on themselves, and that's why they push back on you so heavy with these little petty, weightless arguments. Yeah, so that little clip, it just really had my brain going. But yeah, I mean, I spent a lot more time. I said I ain't had nothing to really talk about, and I really kind of went, even though it's a lot of the points that I've been touching on already, it just reinforces the shit that I've been talking about. You know, so the moral of the story is, have the same energy for your favorites. And, you know, unless you're really ready to have a conversation about why you like this shit and what it says about you, then I suggest you to stop trying to push back on people that are rightfully calling this bullshit out. So before I end the stream, because I look up and I'm like, damn, I've been live for almost an hour. I'm gonna play the video, the full video, because I haven't posted it yet. I don't know if I can or if I will post it, but In the meantime, I'm gonna just play it here on stream now because I did like a little clip. You know what? The audio is gonna be a little weird, just cause. Oh, you know what? I can fix it. There we go. Yeah, cause so context, right? I so cause I chopped it up, and this is you have to edit it a certain way to make it look good or whatnot, right? Oh, I ain't even gotta do all this shit. I don't even know why I'm doing all this. I'm acting like I hadn't already exported it. Yeah, I was about to play it from the editor. And it's like, nah, you ain't gonna play it from the editor. Like I exported this shit. I exported it with the full intention to post it. But then I remember, oh yeah, I'm gonna get hit with a copyright claim. Or even a strike, depending on how petty they want to be right now. Alright, we got it. Alright, hold on. Let me go to the share screen. The baby sleep now, I guess it's time to wrap up. Alright, so I'm not a video editor at all. That's one of those things where I'm working on it, but I'm not as proficient about it. My wife is always pushing me, saying I need to edit my video. I need to learn how to edit, and I've been meaning to get to it, but I just ain't got it down just yet. So part of the reason why I chopped up the way I did, I was filtering the hell out of it to try to cover up for my lack of skills. But I think it came out well. I'm gonna give y'all the bars I've been looking for. Free Palestine. I'ma finish this thing, go play with my son. If I hang, get up and ride off in the sunset, I won't tell you I'm done. No one now. Yeah, it's not bad. not bad for like literally recorded that the morning before I posted it. Cause originally I was just gonna have the cover art and then just have the text like it was at the bottom, but it was just the cover art and just have that posted like with all the lyrics and stuff. And I was like, nah, I could pull my camera out on my phone, record me at least perform it a little bit real quick and then post that. And I thought that would be a little bit more interesting. It literally didn't come to me until that morning. And then as soon as I got home from taking my son to daycare, just set up, recorded a few takes, picked the best shots from it, and then or the shots because I only used like the best take, and then spliced in a little bit from the other takes, and then just called it a day. And yeah, like there's a few lines like my boy Walt and hit me up, and he had said like, "Yo, you really like took off after the BLM line." And I think that's when I really felt it. Like I was kind of like when I was recording it, in the beginning, I had a few bars that just kind of came to me, and then I just kind of went after that. But I really feel like I kind of hit a stride at that point because, like I said, I'm touching on a lot of the same shit in the streams because it's a lot of the same stuff that's just been bothering me that I feel like just needed to address. So it was still weighing heavy on me, and I wanted to put it in a song to like really talk about it in a concise way. Everything from the Spotify thing to the hypocrisy, like, if I ever, because I used to be one of those people that, I kind of talked about at the beginning of the song, like I was just be one of those people that really wanted to, like, just give up if it was too late. 'Cause I didn't want to feel like one of those guys that was like wasting their time. Like if it's not gonna happen for me, maybe I should just let it go and walk away, right? It, so if it didn't happen at a certain point, I should just like hang it up and call it a day. But now, as I'm getting older, just had a birthday, so I just turned 31. Like, as I'm getting older, it's less about making it, cause like what the fuck does that even mean nowadays? Like, but it's less about making it and more about like just not wanting to be associated with something for one that isn't what I thought it was, not what it used to be. Like now I'm older, my eyes are a little bit more open to, oh, a lot of that shit was not real to begin with. It was fantasy. So it's not what I thought it was. And what it really is, I don't want to be associated with. Like, you could say, oh, it's worse now. I think we just are more aware now. Like, one thing I learned from this whole Diddy situation, like since the Cassie news broke, is just the fact that like the industry, you thought it was bad, and then you hear about stuff like this, you realize it was worse and it was more common than you originally thought. Like you thought it was isolated, you thought it was just a few bad people, you thought like, there's a lot of things you try to like tell yourself to keep the dream alive in your head, and in reality, like, nah, it's a lot of people. It's a lot more common, and sometimes, I maybe you just walk away from that shit. Like, when you're an adult, when you're a kid, and you watching the music videos and you listening to your favorite rappers, and like, even at the times was like, it's bullshit. Like, I don't know about y'all, but MTV Cribs, I knew that was bullshit. I knew that was bullshit from the jump. Because it was so ridiculous. It was so ridiculous that I just couldn't buy into it 100%. Like, why do you got 12 cars? Why are you in this crazy... You just dropped your first album. Why are you already in this multi-million-dollar mansion? Like, I'm talking about like ridiculously extravagant. And you might have been like 25 on the Billboard Hot 100. Like, I don't really see that paying for the album. Paying for that house. That one album, I don't see it paying for the house. Unless you want so. There's always an exception to the rule, of course, but I just didn't believe it. I couldn't believe everybody that was on MTV Cribs was living that crazy. So even the time, and so there was certain shit that I was aware of, but even then, the stuff that I did believe in as a kid, like growing up, slowly got stripped away. Whether it was be like you find out your favorites is not who they say they were. Actually, they're fucking terrible people. Then you learn like about how people really getting paid or not actually getting paid. Like a lot of things that just kind of look like, oh, I want to be a part of that, and you realize that wasn't real. It kind of makes you not want to be associated with the shit. So that was kind of my mindset going into it. So if I was to ever walk away, like that would be why. It'd be like there's not enough about this that I care about to continue rapping or continue to pursue a career in music. Like I don't think I'd ever like quit making music. It just might not be for the masses anymore. Or if I put it out, like it's not in the effort to make money. It's not really in the effort of turning this into a career. It's just because I fucking feel like it. And I think that's kind of how I'm approaching music now, but I'm just still putting it out. Like I'm making it as just because I fucking feel like it. But I'm going to put it out and try to make something of it. right now. So that was kind of like the mindset going in the beginning of it. But then there was all this other stuff that's still like bubbling up that I still feel like, yeah, I talked about it and some people talking about it, but they're not really talking about it the way I can talk about it. And that's what, that part of the verse. That's why, like, I feel like I even hear it myself. Like, after it was done, just my performance, and I hear like how those first few bars was, like just me revving up, but then I get to actually really I think it's the part, all I'm saying is anyone that came around and tried to warn us this would happen, you called them a square, and I see what shape we in. Like, first of all, I thought that was a dope, simile, because anyone that came around to try to warn us this would happen, you called them a square, and I see what shape we in. I thought that was pretty clever. So that was the part when I started writing. I got to that line, I was like, oh yeah, we putting this out. But that's how I really felt, because it's kind of, all these people talking about how terrible hip hop is, the position that how terrible hip hop is right now. I just remember, like, there was so many people who would come out and like try to like say something about like, oh man, hip hop is getting away from what it was meant to be. Like, why is the music so negative? Why is it this? Why is it that? And then they just say, yo, shut up, nigga, you old. Like a KRS-One or a Pharoah Monch, or just anybody you think of, like Pete Rock. Pete Rock get a lot of flack, a lot of hate for what he has to say about hip hop currently, and people just dismiss him like you old, you out of touch, like you don't understand the youth right now. And now we looking at it like the shit not even selling. You can't even make that an argument no more. Like, people, we know on streaming services the older music gets way more love than the newer music. Unless you like the big stars like a Drake or a Taylor Swift or something like that. Like, most of the time people are only like fucking with stuff that or artists that came out before that. Like, those sell more than or are streamed more than the newer artists, the newer releases that come out. Like, you see it now. Like Hip Hop 50 shows are selling out. New kids is having to like cancel tour dates because of low ticket sales. Like, you seeing it now, and it's just kind of like, you see what shape we in. This is the kind of shit we on. Like, everything else is self-explanatory. The hypocrisy thing. Me talking about feeling uninspired because of the Spotify shit. Like, this shit still pisses me off. I will say though, like, the more, because I'm still like, the more news come out, the more like I was, everybody was right to be upset when it first leaked about the Spotify threshold. And as more time has gone by, more information has come out, the more it's like, no, it's actually just as fucked up as or even more fucked up than what we initially thought. But I think it's kind of opened my eyes to just like be done with that. Like, I was telling my wife, like, I remember I was putting out like my first self-produced project, because this new project I'm putting out is like the culmination of my dream trilogy. Like, I put out Yes I Am a Dreamer in 2016, Dream to Escape Hell in 2018, and this new album is gonna come out in 2024. And it'll have I'm not gonna say the name of the title just yet because it might change, so I don't want to say it because it's already changed twice in the process of doing this. So I don't want to say it until like we're done and everything is finalized and we're good to go. But it'll have the word dream in it. I promise that, right? So it'll be the end of the Dream trilogy. And I remember my first self-produced project, which is kind of like an ode to that The first one was Yes, I Am a Dreamer. And I remember being so excited and so optimistic about the future when I was putting this together in late 2015, 2016. And it was streaming wasn't even a thought. I was more focused on my website and Bandcamp. And at the time, streaming is like 2015, 2016. So streaming hasn't really been like it hasn't been the dominant thing. It was just kind of a convenient way to listen to music at the time. At least that's the way I looked at it. It wasn't looked at as the be all end all. Like I don't even think it was counted towards your like sort of like RIAA certifications or like Billboard placements and things like that. I don't even think that was. I could be wrong. Because either it wasn't and it changed shortly after, or it just became, part of that process, that statistic. So, but I'm not thinking about it. I already know streaming not paying shit. I'm focusing on just selling direct. Like I got physical CDs. I got merch. I got it on Bandcamp. I got it on my website. I'm focusing on that. And that's when I saw the most success. I saw the most money. And I felt I had the most fulfillment. And, things in my life changed. I had some tragedies happen in my life, a few of them, shortly after that project was put out. And, I think I kind of lost in a lot of different aspects of my life, not just the music, but in the music specifically, I lost the plot. And then I started focusing on streaming because everybody's talking was like, you need to get your streaming numbers up, your monthly listeners up. You need to like really show, like people really fucking with you. You got to use these numbers. Because like these people get in your ear and they tell you like, you got it, like Spotify is the way to go. Even though every other streaming service, with the exception of like maybe YouTube, every other streaming service is paying more. But I gotta focus on Spotify for whatever reason. And then when you with the threshold thing coming out, and then people doing their research, and now you realize like, the big three like get 70 cents for every dollar made, like per stream, and it became like they own stake in Spotify, and then you start to realize, that's why this is the industry standard. That's why everybody ignored Apple and Tidal and Deezer and all these other streaming services, because the major record labels have the most stake in Spotify. So that's why the industry shifted on really just caring about Spotify. And just keeping that in mind, and like just remembering how I felt like focus on streaming. Like I'm using this album, and like kind of like just getting away from Spotify, removing my music from Spotify, like just not really caring about streaming, period, and like just direct to consumer. Like I'm getting back to that feeling. So that's what this new phase of my career is, really just me getting back to the old phase of my career when like I had it. Like, you feel like you have it and then you lose it. But now like I feel reinvigorated. Like I got it now. And like this freestyle was just like the first step to that. And it's gonna be many more to come. But yeah, like I didn't plan on streaming for over an hour like I normally do. Didn't really have anything planned, but it was a pretty good convo. Like it's actually turned out a lot better than I thought when I initially said I was gonna stream today. So I'm happy. I'm trying to stay consistent outside of the holidays and shit. I've been trying to do this like every week. And we just gonna keep going and doing it in 2024. So make sure you follow the Instagram page, the 1430 podcast. join the broadcast channel because I'm going to be asking the last 2 episodes of 2023 is going to be about my favorite albums and my most disappointing or worst albums I've heard this year, right? And you got to let me know if you want this on a tier list or if you just want me to talk about it, whatever, like anything like that. So if you're watching this on YouTube after the stream, because I'll post this tomorrow, make sure you leave a comment below how you felt, and especially like about the secret recipe video and the song and like the lyrics and stuff like that. Make sure y'all let me know how y'all rocking with it. But yeah, I'll see y'all next week. So make sure y'all let me know what y'all want for next week. But until next time, much love. I am about to go to bed.